Basscast podcast. I'm Evan.
And I'm Alex.
And we want to take a second here to talk about the new Excision album, Apex. It came out
This past Tuesday.
This past Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
This past Tuesday. And I think this is going to be legit because Alex and I have not talked about this album at all yet with each other. We both listened to it separately, but we've not actually talked about any of the songs. So I'm excited to get right into it. We've got 14 songs on this album. Tons of collabs. Tons of juicy sounding collabs. I think the only one, I could be wrong on this, I think the only one that was already released was that Illenium collab and Shallows, Gold, Stupid Love.
Also and, Rumble.
Oh, yeah, Rumble, which was Excision.
Rumble came out first and then Gold came out.
You're right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Gold, Stupid Love was our outro the first episode, actually. That song came out pretty close to when we released that first episode, that first podcast episode. So I guess Gold and then Rumble are the only two songs that were released before. I liked both of those. I liked Gold more, but I liked both of them.
Yes, I agree. Rumble was good. It was okay. But Gold, I think, was way better.
Rumble is like exactly what you would expect Excision and Space Laces to do. It's just another good heavy dubstep song that he's gonna throw down during the Paradox.
Right.
Gold, I thought it was good. I really like it. And we talked about this last episode. Artists getting together and creating a build up and a drop that sounds like they both created the whole song. Not, one artist does a build up, one artist does a drop, and that's it.
Yes.
And I feel like Gold is a good example of a song where both artists worked on the whole thing, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I don't want to start to get into the whole entire album, but there is what I've noticed for some of the songs in this album is there's kind of like a theme. It's like the first drop, it's more heavily sounding like the person that Excision is collabing with, and then it's followed by two more drops that are more Excision sounding. I don't know if you heard that in some of these songs. And I think Gold is kind of like that. The first drop, it's not as hard as the second or the third drop.
Right. Yes, I agree with you, but I still feel like all the drops still feels like both Illenium and Excision work.
Yes. From seeing from what Excision sounds like to listening to what collabs Illenium has done in the past, because traditionally Illenium by himself is more just future based, but if he's done dubstep collabs, they sound really, really good, and kind of going along with traditional Illenium collabs with a dubstep artist, this sounds exactly what you would expect an Illenium Excision collab to sound like.
Yes, I agree, and I think it's a good song. I like that one.
Yes, I really do like Gold.
It's pretty, and then it's hard. I like songs that can hit both spectrums.
Yes.
And I guess Shallows is who does the vocals.
Yes, I think so. Great job.
Very pretty vocals. Love that song. Like we said, Rumble is I hate to generalize dubstep songs. But
I think what Rumble was it was like the throwing elbows of this album. He released it first, then a lot of bass DJs they played it in their sets, and it just kind of felt like it got overplayed. You know what I mean?
You mean it got overplayed early?
Yes, because he released it because I guess him and Space Laces released it way before the album came out. This song is Rumble has been out for at least over I think a month and a half or something like that. And so you've heard it in other bass sets besides Excisions. And I don't know. I think because I remember that before Virus came out, Throwing Elbows was the single that he released before the album was released. And I can remember that there was a ton, and I mean a ton of bass DJs that played throwing elbows during their sets, and I don't know, I just think it got overplayed, and the same thing with Rumble. I think since Excision is such a big name in the bass community, and after he releases a song, it's just like you hear the song, a month after it's been released, and now he's releasing his album.
His album?
What?
Sorry, I was making a joke.
Oh, I thought you put a question mark on that. I'm sorry. I got super confused. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. But yeah, since he released Rumble a month, a little over a month before he released Apex, I just think Rumble got overplayed. I really do.
It definitely might have. And you're talking about throwing elbows. Honestly, I like that song, but
yeah.
I feel like DJs just overuse it because they want to start a mosh pit.
Well, yeah, I mean
it's a very
too.
mosh pitty song.
Yeah, it does really sound moshy.
Throwing elbows. I mean, you're trying to start a mosh pit. That's what I would.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, those are the first two that were released before. I don't think there's any others that were released early.
Right.
This is a pretty hard hitting album.
Yes.
What were your? I don't know. Do we want to go through certain songs first, or what was like our overall thoughts on the whole thing, and then go into songs? How do we want to do this?
I guess we can do thoughts of about the album, and then get into the.
I want to go first. And I'll let you
go.
Okay. Because I know that you were a huge fan of Virus, his last one.
Yeah.
I know you love Virus. So, okay, obviously this is Excision. It's gonna be hard dubstep for the most part, and I like that. I love the album art with a T-Rex next to a mountain, or I guess it's a volcano that's about to get on fire with lightning in the background. That's awesome. Awesome album art. I listened to the songs in order, and I felt like towards the beginning it was a little bit softer. I feel like I didn't like the songs at the beginning as much as I did the songs at the end.
Okay.
And softer was not the right word. I feel like the songs at the beginning I didn't like as much as I did the songs at the end. And I got to about number 6 or 7, and I was like, what is going on here? And after that, it really started to pick up, and I liked the last 7 or 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me let's first go through all of the collabs. We already mentioned Illenium and Space Laces. He's actually got 2 songs with Space Laces on here. He's got 3 songs with Dion Timmer.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yes, what is your question?
Why does Excision have such a bromance with Dion Timmer?
I really don't know.
Isn't Dion Timmer 17 years old?
I'm pretty sure he's still in his teens. I know. I'm pretty sure he's Dutch. But I don't know. Maybe Excision saw something, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Dion's music is very, very good. But I guess it's like a protege. I don't know technically if that's what you would call it, but I guess Excision heard Dion's music and just really liked it and just wanted to do a bunch of collabs, and maybe he thought that he would be the next big bass DJ. But I mean, Dion has really made a name for himself, obviously, with the help of Excision and doing all these collabs. But
yeah, he's made a name for himself through the help of Excision. Again, maybe I'm just being a hater, and I don't dislike Dion Timmer. And I'll even give him props. When we went and saw the first time you saw the Paradox,
mm-hmm.
It was Dion Timmer, and then Barely Alive, and then Cookie Monster, and then Excision, right?
Yes.
And we walked in, Dion Timmer was either finishing up or had just started, and he had Star Wars visuals playing. And I was like, holy cow, that is awesome. But since then, every time I see a Dion Timmer song, every time I see a Dion Timmer song where it's only him, it just doesn't really do it for me. I feel like he's got to collab with other people in order for me to really like it. Right? Because he's collabed with Bro Safari. I think he's collabed with oh goodness, he's collabed with like several trap artists,
Right.
and those songs are good. But like when it's him by himself, it just doesn't do it for me. And I have to be honest, if Excision saw something in Dion Timmer, that's great. But I guess I just don't understand what he saw in him, because it's not really the same type of music. Like Dion Timmer, when he goes by himself, it's not really the same type of hard dubstep as Excision is.
Right. Right.
I mean, do you agree with me?
Well, I can see how you. I mean, obviously, from listening to just some straight Dion Timmer's songs that he used to make, or that he's made, comparing him to Excision. I mean, yeah, the two don't really collab together. But I mean, maybe it was just Excision. Hearing something that wasn't, truly dubstep, wanting to go in a different direction, and he found Dion, who wasn't a big person, who, said, "Hey, let's collab." And then I guess he just really liked Dion's sound and took off with it. So I really don't know what all happened there. I don't know the specifics, but I mean, I think most of Dion's music is pretty good.
I mean, like I said, I think that when he collabs with other big artists, it is good. But yeah, I don't know. When he's by himself, he just doesn't do it for me. But anyways, yeah, Dion Timmer has 3 collabs on this album. Who else is on here? Sullivan King's got 2. Okay, that was what surprised me. I really liked both of the Sullivan King collabs on this album.
Okay.
And I should not like Sullivan King. I mean, I shouldn't like his style of music because he.
Why do you not like Sullivan King?
No. I'm saying I should not like Sullivan King.
Okay, why should you not like Sullivan King?
Because he mixes metal with dubstep.
Okay.
And generally, I'm not a huge fan of that. I know several artists do that.
Shut up, Phase One.
Phase One does that?
He's literally, like, he named his Twitter name like he's that metal dubstep guy.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. I need to listen to Phase One. I guess I haven't listened to it. But yeah, Sullivan King, like, I don't know if you ever watched one of his sets, but he gets out his electric guitar and starts, like, playing the guitar while he's DJing.
Mm-hmm.
I should not like that, because I'm not a huge metal fan. But that's cool. Both of the songs on here I really liked. Sullivan King came out with a song recently. I don't know if it's on Spotify or not. I know it's on SoundCloud. It's very G-Rexy sounding, like very like low frequency bass wobbles, and that song is great. Have you heard that one?
Yes, I remember that being released, and I heard it for the first time. And yeah, I really did like it. Really cool.
So yeah, like with that song and these two on Apex, in my book, Sullivan King is killing it right now, and I'm excited to see more stuff from him.
I know there's a lot of people that have been. I mean, I think I'm not entirely too sure, but I think from like the first collab that I remember Sullivan King was, I'm pretty sure it was Snails. I can't remember though. I know Sullivan King has probably been around longer, but from what I can remember first hearing about Sullivan King is with the Snails collab that he did. But ever since that collab that I can remember, Sullivan King has just gotten bigger and bigger throughout the bass community.
Yes.
And and honestly, I like his half metal, half bass music.
Well,
it's really cool.
I don't want to get too personal with you, but I do know that you at one point went through an Avenged Sevenfold phase.
Yes,
I would almost expect you to be like to like Sullivan King and that type of metal dubstep.
Well, the thing was is that I have friends that are heavy into metal. Metal, and like they go to concerts. They've been to shoot, I cannot remember the name of the festival that happens. I think it's in Tennessee. Um,
Bonnaroo?
no, no. It's like a strict metal.
Oh.
Anyway, I know they've been to that.
Wait, which one? Sorry, what?
I don't remember the name of it. Okay, whatever the name of that.
It's a metal festival, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I know that they've been to that several times.
Is it EDC Vegas?
Yes,
that's it.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
Is it Ultra Singapore?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
That's
what it
that's
was.
it. That's it. That's
Gotcha.
it. Okay. Anyway,
Is there Ultra in Singapore?
I thought so.
Whatever.
Is it? Anyway. Okay. Anyway, back on track. Anyway, I remember this was a long time ago though. This phase, the first time that I can remember listening to an Avenged song was "Carry On" because I was a Call of Duty fanboy back in the day, and they advertised "Carry On," that song from their Black Ops 2 game. And so I eventually kind of, started listening to some of their songs from their different albums, like from Hail to the King to the Nightmare album, and I really did enjoy that music, some of their songs from those albums. Now I know, granted, not too many people like some of their newer stuff. I haven't really listened to their newest album because I just don't really I just don't really care to listen to Avenged anymore. But that phase, I mean, going from that and then listening and then trying to listen to like Phase One, for instance, or Sullivan King, where they connect metal with dubstep or metal with some other kind of bass genre. I think it's pretty cool. I really do. It makes it sound like it really can connect. Going from like some screams into like a good build up with a heavy drop, it just sounds pretty cool in my opinion.
Well, I think it's worth mentioning that there are probably a lot of dubstep DJs that used to be like punk metal, like punk rock, punk metal band members.
I mean, take Skrillex for instance. I know that he was in a band. I mean, I think he just recently did a show with his old band.
I saw something about that. I saw something about that as well.
Anyway.
But I know Skrillex, Bass Nectar, they were both like that, and they ventured out and found DJing and electronic music, and I'm glad because I mean, like they are similar in some ways, I think, because like a lot of people would say that EDM is best received loudly, and that's how metal and rock music is.
Agree.
But I mean, it makes sense because and if you compare metal, like the metal fan base to the dubstep fan base, I feel like there's some similarities there as well.
Yes, I mean moshing being the main one. I mean, there's both moshing in the metal community and the bass music community. So anyway, but that's like the main similarity.
All they gotta do is press play on throwing elbows and you're good to go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, sorry about that. Had to take a quick break there. I think we're talking about metal music and the similarities between it and EDM. Well, particularly dubstep. I think you were talking about Avenged Sevenfold.
Yes. Well, I mean, going back to that, I mean, I had a phase with Avenged, liked their music, but eventually, just quit listening to it, and
that was while we were listening to EDM, right?
I mean, I think so. I mean, that was back when, like, I was still in high school.
So, did you like EDM more, or did you like Avenged Sevenfold more?
Well, I mean, I'm listening to EDM now. Again, that was a phase for me. So, I mean, I still like those songs today. I mean, I still, because they're still part of. Cause I just think they sounded really good, and.
So that was like you're saying that was your goth phase, right?
Wow.
That was when you painted your fingernails black every day.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. Way to classify.
Oh man. Okay, so now that it's out of the bag that Alex has 16 piercings all over his body, um, so I know that I know that you've listened to you've had, points where you liked metal music. I'm not a huge metal music fan. I definitely don't like screamo.
Yeah, same. I'm not big on Scream.
Although I
Certainly
have,
understand.
although I have to admit, keeping with the subject of comparing hard metal to EDM and dubstep, I could definitely see how some trap and dubstep songs are compared to like screamo music. Because sometimes some of the synths and sounds they use, it sounds like some kind of like screaming.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like those songs. I love like the screaming sounding trap songs, like where it's like a high pitched screech. I really like that. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think connecting metal with bass music, I think it's really cool if it's done right. But
Well, you like that. I think it can work if it's done well. I'm talking about like the trap songs where the drop is like a high pitched screech. Like it's not really connected to metal music at all. There's several of them.
like name a song just for instance,
Um,
like one that you're thinking of.
like a Ricky Sand song, maybe. I
A,
don't know.
a what song?
I'm thinking of one in particular, but I don't know what the name of it is. Like you know how you
Okay.
can hear songs in your head, but you don't actually know what the names of them are.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I can't give you a name. I know Ricky Sand does some. Um, what about that 404 song by Heckler? And then a high pitched screech.
Oh, like that? Yeah, I guess I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, like
Think.
it's not really metal sounding, but it's still a high pitched screech, like a loud screech.
Necessarily. I mean, like, what about Say My Name?
I know I do like Say My Name. Um, that sound is like it sounds like an outdoor rave. There's no other way for me to like. It sounds like that he just recorded like a rave somehow.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
But I do like
But
that sound.
if you like trying to compare it to like 404 by Heckler, then yeah, I can understand what you're trying to say.
Okay, like what about Basic Bass Tune by Heckler? Like
Oh yeah,
that's kind of a high pitched.
yeah,
Like I like that too.
that's another one.
It's not well, of course that doesn't really sound like metal or screamo or anything, but it still sounds like screaming, and I like that.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Like
It's
some
like
of
a scream.
okay.
It's like a screaming, screeching sound.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so that was probably a bad connection. Yeah, I probably threw us off on a terrible tangent there. Okay, let's just go back to Apex. So we were talking about Sullivan. This all started with us talking about Sullivan King. Yeah, I have to say I was definitely impressed with both the Sullivan King songs. Like both of
Yes.
them. And I think our overall consensus of him is that he's doing some great stuff recently, and can't wait to see more stuff from him. Hoods Up is on the CD. It's another Dion Timmer collab with Excision and Messinian. Did I like this song? Yes, I did like this song because I put it in my little list there. So I did like that one. I don't know if you did. You remember how it goes?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's advertised. Well, let's just say he's put it on his like Instagram story like multiple times, and I remember listening to it like back at when he did the first Lost Lands, and I mean I thought it was pretty good. I like the build up where it's just like the visual is kind of cool. It's just like a hooded robotic person just like walking and it's like just does different camera angles on it, and it's pretty cool in my opinion. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I did put it on my list of songs I liked. the last collab, and I've saved this one for last, is "Die for You" with Akylla, and
This song is so good.
Thank goodness you said good. I was really scared that you were going to say this song is my least favorite on the album.
No.
I think this was my favorite song on the album.
If you told me that this song was not a collab with like Seven Lions or Millennium, I would probably not believe you. This song sounds really, really good because it's so different from just a plain Excision song. It sounds like he's collabing with a future-based artist, but he's not, and it sounds really, really good.
Akylla only does the vocals. Akylla, have you heard the song "Covered in Roses" by Mark the Beast and Akylla?
Maybe I can't recall.
You have. I know you have because
I have.
Thank you. When we went and saw Downlink in Orlando here.
Did he play it?
That was one of the last songs he played, and I actually, because like he was like, "This is a new song," and all that stuff. You know how they'll say this, like their second to last song they'll usually play. They're like, "This is a new song, never heard before, whatever." He dropped that, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I have to know this." So I tweeted him, and he actually told me it was Mark the Beast and Akylla, "Covered in Roses."
Okay.
That song is also beautiful, and Akylla did. Oh shoot, what is it? And I'll tell you. Akylla did the vocals on I think it's Drowning. Is it Drowning? Yeah, Drowning on Virus. So if you like Drowning, which is another really pretty song, which is only Excision and Akylla, you'll probably like Die for You. And again, I think I really like Gold Stupid Love with Millennium, but I think Die for You is probably my favorite on the CD.
Yeah. I really do like Die for You. If we're talking about like very, very good sounding, not to be hard, very future based sounding, yes, Die for You is a really good song.
It was beautiful.
Very beautiful, yes, indeed.
That was my favorite on the CD. What about you? If you had to narrow it down, we haven't even talked about. There's about 5 or 6 songs that were only Excision. We didn't really even talk about those. We'll get to those in a second. Did you have a favorite of the collabs at least?
Okay. So of the collabs, I like both Sullivan King songs. I like both Space Laces songs. I like the Millennium collab. Now, getting to the Dion Timmer collabs, I remember Excision playing in his sets Hoods Up, and I remember hearing Home. Now, this collab with him and Dion, named Where Are You? I think it's my least favorite song off of this album. The first drop is not so. It's okay in my opinion. I think the second drop is a little bit better, but it just didn't really catch my eye. I just didn't really like that collab or like that song. Just my opinion, but I think all the other songs are better in my opinion. But if I was to pick like a specific song off the album that was my favorite,
what's your favorite on the album?
It would probably either be Die for You or Gold. I really like both of those. So being a pretty big fan of Virus's previous album, I really like Vault. Vault.
I figured you would.
Vault. If you don't know, well, if you haven't listened to it yet, but Vault, it kind of basically just goes through all the vocals of all the different songs from Virus, and then he throws in a couple of his really well-known songs and puts some of those lyrics in. And at the very end, I don't want to spoil it, but at the very end, it's pretty cool.
Wait, there's something at the end of Vault?
Yeah, the very end.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Well, like the very end of the song, and how he. I mean, if you can listen to it later, but I just think like the overall way that he did the song, I think it's really cool and very smart.
Well, I definitely like the beginning where it's like he mixes in all like the popular sayings like throw your X up, yeah, I'm
Yeah, all
throwing
that.
elbows. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's really cool.
Vault, I'm pretty sure it was the first song or one of the first songs he played when he did his like last set at Lost Lands last year.
Yes, I think you're right.
So I've heard Vault before, and I guess now looks like he's officially released it. It's a cool song. It's like a it's not a throwback. It's more of a
Tribute.
yeah. It's like a tribute song to all of his like little like sayings from his like all of his songs. So it's a good song. I like it. I think my least favorite was Home.
Really?
Which was the first of the Excision and the first of the Dion Timmer collabs.
Okay.
I just know that like of the first um of the first 6 songs, I only liked 3 of them. That's why, in my opinion, it started out slow. It wasn't soft songs. It was just it started out slow for me. But then, like I said, the last 7 or so, we're all like, oh yeah, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, well, the first time that I heard Home was like on one of Excision's like Instagram stories posts, and I thought it was actually a pretty good sound, in my opinion. But I just didn't really care for Where Are You?
Yeah, I liked Where Are You more than Home. Interesting. Let's see which one has more clicks on Spotify. Oh, Home has 126,000. And Where Are You has 76. Okay. Alright, okay. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Power? Did you like Power?
Yes, all of the standalone Excision songs, like what you said, there was like 5 or 6 of them. Yeah, they're really good. Exterminate's drop is pretty good, and then I've heard Tonight before, and then going through it like you said, like the first half of the songs from the album. I mean, I guess they weren't as what would you say, heavy as the last part.
It's just like if you're comparing the first half to the second half is definitely better in my opinion.
Yeah. Like Exterminate's good, and then it gets increasingly better. Like Tonight is better than Fall, Power, and Vault are just like really, really, really good.
Yeah, those are both good. Definitely like both of those. And like we said, we've seen Excision now. I've seen
it twice.
I've seen him 4 times. And the last time we saw him was EDC Orlando 2017, and some of these I definitely recognized. Of course, he played like we follow him on social media, so we see videos of him dropping some of these songs. So I think most of these he's probably already like played before. I don't think any of these. Well, I don't know. I guess some of them could have been like completely new releases that he's never played before, but I feel like most DJs usually at least samples like some of their newer stuff in their sets.
Right, and see, like the time, like you said, we saw him at EDC last year, and a couple months before that, he kind of just released the remixes to his Virus album. So he played a bunch of those remixes, and then I don't think we saw the full set. So I don't know if he actually played some of these songs. I'm guessing he debuted most of these songs at Lost Lands, and obviously he's going to debut most of these songs at Lost Lands here coming up. Is it next month?
I think it's September, so yeah, next month.
Yeah.
I think it's late September.
Yeah, something like that.
That's got to be a festival we got to go to.
Yeah, that's one we have to go to.
What are festivals that we need to go to? Not like forget about location. Like, what are ones that you absolutely want to go to?
Well, I know that I definitely want to go to Ultra Miami, and also got to go to EDC Las Vegas.
I feel like those are the 2 biggest EDM. Those have to be the 2
festivals. Yeah.
In the world or just in America? It might be the world.
It might be the world. I don't know. I really don't know. Now, aside from like going outside the country, like for Tomorrowland, I think going to Tomorrowland would be pretty cool.
Tomorrowland's in Europe.
I think so. What else?
Okay, call me crazy, but I'm pretty sure in Australia they have the the huge hardstyle festivals, or it's like a giant stage, and
Maybe.
those actually look kind of cool. Again,
Maybe.
like we're not. I don't think we're huge hardstyle. I think I like it more than you do, probably.
Yeah, I think you do.
But I still think it would be a good experience. And I want to say Australia has the biggest hardstyle festivals. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Like I think it's called DEF CON 1. I want to say that's like the biggest or one of the biggest like hardstyle festivals. Um, but yeah, like whenever you should like search videos of that. That it looks cool. Like they do. Obviously, they're playing hardstyle music. They've got it where I think there's some DJs there that like they've got the crowds doing like not dances, but like, they've got the crowds like jumping in sync and like moving one direction and like moving back the other direction. It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you've ever seen that or not.
that's like a crowd coordination
Yeah, it's really cool.
hardstyle song that I mean it's really good for just a hardstyle. I think it's pretty cool too, but yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, overall definitely liked Apex. Album art's really cool. Keep the T-Rexes coming.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on Apex?
Okay, so I was going to say, now I know this, it's kind of hard for me to say this though.
Uh-oh.
I was going to say that Virus was slightly better than this, but listening to the album Apex a second time through, it's hard to say. Like they are neck and neck with the quality of how good each song is. Like there are a lot. I like all of the songs from Virus. I just remember listening to them over and over again and not really disliking any of them. I mean, all of them were just very, very good. And then listening to Apex a couple times, like all the songs, they're really, really good. And it's hard to say which album is better.
I mean, I'm not making you pick.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if I were to pick, I don't know. I really don't know. I just think, I mean, I think anything from Excision is good. But I think both of these albums are the same. I think both of them are both equally good.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Although I'm sitting here looking at Virus's list of songs, and there's almost not a song that I don't like. Almost.
Because all those songs.
All of these songs are bangers that most of them are bangers that he plays at his in the Paradox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had to pick, I might pick Virus. And Virus has more songs too.
Yeah.
Than Apex.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to wait until the remixes come out in a year. Hopefully, the remixes will come out in a year like they did for Virus.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
I mean, the Virus remixes were really good too.
Well, I mean, Excision releases an album. Other DJs are definitely going to jump on remixes, which is always interesting. Are you a big remix fan?
Oh yeah, I like remixes. Yeah.
I definitely like. I like remixes because it almost before you hear the song, you know, kind of like what you're about to get, because you take. And like some people I've heard that I've talked to will say, you know, like let's say that like let's say that AFK remixes an Excision song. Like some people will say AFK and Excision made this song. Well, that's not technically true, right? I mean, technically, if AFK remixes an Excision song, that means that Excision created a song, AFK took it, and then he AFK'd it.
Yeah.
So, when I listen to an AFK remix of an Excision song, I don't expect to hear Excision in that song. I expect to hear 100% AFK.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some people don't 100% comprehend that. But yeah, like I said, like remixes, you can kind of figure out what you're going to hear. Like you're not like if it's a remix of a Excision song, that doesn't 100% mean that it's going to sound like Excision. It's going to sound more like of whoever is remixing it. And maybe I'm just saying like dumb stuff, like people already know this, but I feel like I've talked to people that said, these two people remixed it, or these two people came up with the song, but really it's like, no, Excision made the original song, and then, whoever just did a remix of it and like made it their own.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm sure that Apex will have a remix album come out probably about a year or so. I'm actually surprised we haven't heard any remixes yet. I'm sure that there are some, we just haven't heard them yet. Maybe. How did Virus? So Virus's remixes came out a year after.
Mm-hmm. Around the same time.
Right.
Sometime in the fall, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, going back to festivals, Ultra Miami, EDC Vegas. I think we have to put Lost Lands on that list now.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, I mean that's kind of becoming the like quintessential bass music festival now. I feel like,
especially if Excision is heading the whole entire thing.
Well, definitely, and I feel like he always will because it's his festival.
Yeah.
The thing about like EDC's got a lot of stages, and Ultra is the same way. They've both got a lot of stages, but they have to have so many stages for trance, for like a main stage. I want to say EDC isn't the Wasteland almost a hard style?
Yeah, well, I think Wasteland's hard style. And they have like
at least two trance stages.
Yeah, something like that, I think. And they have a main stage for Las Vegas. They have two bass stages. I'm pretty sure they have a hardstyle stage.
They
at
have
least one or two trance stages.
For bass, they have Circuit Grounds, Bass Pod.
Yeah,
and then
that's right. Yeah. I know Bass Pod, Circuit Ground, Wasteland. There's a fourth one that I cannot think of. That's like.
Well, yeah, like the trance band, the trance and house fans get Cosmic Meadow and Neon Garden. That's what it is.
Yes.
Bass fans get Circuit Grounds and Bass Pod. I think Connect Field is main. The Connect Field is the main stage, so it just plays everything basically.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, obviously being it that it starts like at 8 o'clock at night or whatever, and then plays throughout the morning.
Yeah, that's
all night. Yeah,
I think that's got to be pretty cool to experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to plan that out. I think those are. I can't think of any other. Well, I mean, there's definitely other EDM festivals, but I think definitely EDC Vegas and Ultra are the two big ones that.
Yes.
And those might be the two biggest in the world. If they're not, they're definitely the two biggest in America.
Right.
So, okay. Anything else on Apex?
No, I really like the album, and it's
Cool. I do too. Yeah, I do like it. If I had to choose between it and Virus, I'd probably pick Virus. But Virus gets the edge because it's got more songs, and it's hard to beat that. And they're all really good, and he plays them a lot, and they're all pretty catchy.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, that's it.
All right, then. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to Basscast number 3. We'll see you later.
Deal.
Every scar will build my